Instagram and all these things have also started. And then a decade later, like in 2015 and so, 4G services were introduced in India. These are the milestones. In internet in India, these are the few milestones. First, telecommunication, internet service, and then internet service providers, launch of websites, setup of Google Office, social networking sites, and 4G networks. Status, new developments, and problems. India is home to world's second largest internet users. The broadband internet service base increased by 4.11% to 4.11% from 74.741 million at the end of December 2020 to 778.09 million at the end of March 2021. It has increased more now. The latest figures have increased more, and the overall percentage was within 1 year it was 4.11%. But still, we see huge number of citizens who do not have access to internet. Government agencies and other non-governmental organizations are trying to curb the digital divide. Already we have discussed about digital divide, so I'm not explaining it to you again. Status and new developments and problems. As more countries have come online, the amount of content in other languages have also increased. Okay, because the content is being provided in other languages, local audience have become more interested towards online content. It is grabbing their interest. If it was a one common language, then it may not happen. But because of many other languages, the content is provided, there will be that local connect. Because of the local connect, you see more number of users raising day by day to see the content or to read the content or to hear the content. Appropriate policy interventions, increased availability of broadband, and affordable 4G mobiles and cheaper data plans have together contributed in bridging the digital gap between urban and rural India. What are the things? Policy interventions, governmental policies, availability of bandwidth, good bandwidth, and mobiles are affordable these days, 4G mobiles. Data plans have also become cheaper. All these things have helped in bridging the gap between urban and rural India. Internet governance. Internet is not owned or controlled by anyone, person, company, or organization. It is not owned or controlled by anybody. It is governed by a multi-stakeholder network of interconnected anonymous groups represented from civil society. Okay, the private sector, government, the academic and research communities, national and international organizations. There is no one particular person who control it. There are multi-stakeholders from the autonomous groups of the society, from civil society, from private sector, from government, from academic, from research, national, international, many stakeholders are there. Some of the major constituents of internet governance are autonomous bodies called as ICANN, ICANN, IETF, and W3C. ICANN. ICANN is Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. ICANN was first, it is a non-governmental organization which was started in California. It is a non-governmental organization, non-profit organization or non-governmental organization. It was started in California. They don't work for profits as such. The primary principles of ICANN were helping preserve the operational stability of internet. It helps to preserve the operational stability of internet and promote healthy competition, achieve broad representation of global internet community. It has to achieve a good representation, a wide representation all over the globe from the internet community. What is IETF? The Internet Engineering Task Force. The IETF is a large open international community of network designers, operators, vendors, and researchers concerned with evolution of internet architecture and smooth operation of internet. So many people are there in this community. There are network designers, operators, researchers. All these people try to evolve the internet architecture more, make it more and more friendly, and make the internet run smooth. The operation of the internet should be smooth without any problems. W3C is World Wide Web Consortium. The main international standards organizations for the World Wide Web were set up here. It was founded in the year 1994 and is currently led by Tim Berners-Lee. W3C primarily pursues what is the basic mission of W3C. It primarily pursues the creation of web standards and guidelines. What are the standards for web and the guidelines for web? It creates the guidelines and standards. That is the basic primary mission of W3C. It also engages the education and outreach, helps, promotes in development of software. It promotes the software development and serves as open forum for discussion about the web. So this is a brief about internet in India, internet governance and all. Next, let's go to networks. What are networks? What is a network? Network is like we network between our humans also network. That means you connect to different people. You connect with different people and probably you may get a chance to discuss about a project or whatever when you have good connections. In the same way, what computers do, a network is a set of interconnected computers. All the computers connect together that cooperate with each other. Why do we network? We also network to cooperate with each other. When there is something he wants, we do it. When there is something we need, they do it. That's why we network with each other. The same meaning happens here as well. A network is a set of interconnected computers that cooperate with each other or one another as the case. As the case may be for purpose of information exchange. Why do they connect with each other and cooperate with each other, all the computers? Because there should be some kind of information interchange which happens. The basic idea itself is to exchange of information. That's why they are interconnected. A computer network is a group of computers linked to each other that enables the computer to communicate with another computer and share the resources, data, and application. So what is a computer network? Here, a group of computers are linked together. And this helps the one computer and the other computer to communicate with each other in order to share the data, resource, applications, whatnot. Okay. Types of network. Just a gist of what are the different types of networks. LAN is local area network. It is restricted to one particular area. Small areas such as buildings, offices, you have LAN connections. You have the LAN connections. It is called as local area network and it is restricted to a smaller area. They are inexpensive, they are fast and they have high security. Because it is restricted to one small area, it is your office building or it is your apartment. So you have restricted area and the security is also good in these kind of networks. PAN is personal area network arranged by individuals for personal use like laptop, mobile phones, media players and playstations. One particular person for his personal use, he arranges PAN area services, personal area network. Okay. MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, larger geographic area. It connects, the network connects larger geographic area. Interconnecting a different LAN to form a larger network. What do? MAN, they interconnect with different LAN connections. LAN is restricted to one small area. PAN is personal. So what do this MAN means? All the LAN connections, different LAN connections are interconnected and it forms a large network like telephone connections. Okay. And WAN, wide area network. It is across states and countries like telephone lines, fiber optic cables, satellite. Internet is a WAN. Example. Network devices and components. I'll quickly run through this. You all know what a router is. A router is a device that connects two or more networks and determines the next point to which a packet of data should be forwarded towards its destination. Or we all have routers at home. Through the router, the network is being connected and the network is being connected at your place. And hub, it is a central connection point of all the network cables. You have a hub where all the network cables, like different houses may you have routers. All the routers, network cables are being connected to the hub. It is a central point. NIC, Network Interface Card, is a card installed on a computer that connects the computer to the network. There should be some connection. No? How do it gets connected to our computer? You have a networking interface card which helps in the connection of the network to your laptop or your desktop. It provides dedicated and full-time connection to computer. It acts as NIC acts as interface between the network cable and the computer. Besides the devices, a network also consists of certain components, broadly divided into software and hardware components. Just a moment. Sorry. Besides the devices, a network also consists of certain components. Broadly, they are divided into software and hardware. Network is generally divided into two. That is not hardware and software. We have also discussed about what is a hardware and what is a software. The major components of hardware, the server or the host computer. The host computer or the server where the data is to be transmitted becomes the first component, the client. This is the computer on the other hand for transmission. See, you are sending the information. The other person should also have a device to see that information, right? So to see the information, the other person should also have a computer or a mobile or whatever is the device. So that device becomes the client device. Okay. And then the circuit. The circuit is the pathway through which data travels from host to the client. The data should travel from my host computer to the client computer. For that, you need a pathway. A circuit is nothing but the pathway. Okay. A circuit may be a copper wire or an optical fiber as well. Besides the server, client, and circuit, the NIC and hubs are also part of hardware components. And the software components that is part of network is network operating system, that is NOS. A network operating system is the software that controls the overall network. The overall network is controlled by the NOS. It makes hardware work properly. Okay. MS Office, NT, Linux, all these are NOS. Laws relating to cyber medium. When you have media, you should also have certain laws. So let's understand what these laws are all about. And what are the laws related to cyber medium. Okay. Cyber law or internet law is the law governing cyberspace, and the term cyberspace includes computer, networks, software, data storage devices such as hard disk, USB disk, etc. The internet, websites, email, smartphones, cell phones, ATM machines, etc. All these things fall under the cyberspace. So what do all these items fall under the cyberspace? What do cyber law do? It governs the cyberspace. Cyber crimes, cyber laws to deal with cyber crimes. What are cyber crimes? They are unlawful acts where the computer is used either as a tool or a target or both. Clear? When you misuse something, when you do not use it in a proper manner, and when you misuse the things, then it becomes a cyber crime. It can be used as a tool or it can be used as a target or both. Electronic or digital signatures. You cannot forge. It is almost like forging signatures. Electric or digital signatures. Intellectual property data. What is intellectual property? When something is owned by you and it is being misused or misdealed, then it becomes a crime. You should have proper data protection and privacy. If your privacy is being disturbed by somebody, if your data is not protected, is misused by somebody, if your privacy is not disturbed by somebody, then also it falls under the cyber crime. Types of cyber crime. The computer as a target. Attacking the computers, for example, hacking is the good example for one of the cyber crime. Taking computer as a target or a virus attack. Computer as a weapon to commit crimes like cyber terrorism, IPR violation, intellectual property rights violation, credit card frauds. All these things fall under the second category, that is using computer as a weapon. What are different types of cyber crimes? Hacking, virus attack, denial of service attacks, forgery, IPR violations, defamation. If you are defaming somebody, if you are using computer as a tool, you are defaming somebody, a person or an organization. If you defame them, then it becomes cyber crime. Sorry, excuse me. Defamation. If you are defaming somebody's name, if you are defaming a person, if you are defaming an individual or an organization, it is also a cyber crime. Cyber stalking. If you are stalking somebody unknowingly, if a person doesn't know that you have been following him through social media or through different cyber thing, if you are or through different internet sources, if you are stalking somebody, then it becomes cyber stalking. Without a person's knowledge, if you are following them, or if you are following each of their action, then it becomes cyber stalking, identity theft. If you are using the identity of somebody and misusing that identity to get some benefit in like in Facebook, what happens is you create a duplicate account with some others with the same name of a person and start asking for money. That you're taking the identity of the other person and you are misusing that identity. That is identity theft. These are all the cyber crimes. Cyber laws in India. Information Technology Act 2000 came into force on 17th October 2000. It is to provide legal recognition to electronic commerce, that is e-commerce, and to facilitate filing of electronic records with government. With IT Act, what has come into existence? There is a legal recognition for electronic commerce, that is e-commerce, and also facilitate filing of electronic records and government, with the government, sorry. They helped in facilitation of all the records were made electronic for government. IT Act also penalizes various cyber crimes and provides strict punishments. When you know you are doing a crime, you should be very careful. Of course, there are many other crimes also, but cyber crime, it is very difficult to know who the other person is. But because of the technology these days, it has become little easy. And if they know that you are the one behind some kind of cyber crime, there are very strict punishments. Investigation and adjudication of cyber crimes is done in accordance with the provisions of Code of Criminal Procedure and IT Act. Digital evidence will be collected and shall be proved in the court as per the provisions of Indian Evidence Act. Digital evidence will be collected to prove your cyber crime, and as per the Indian Evidence Act, it is been accepted by court of law. In case of bank records, the provisions of Bankers Book Evidence Act is been taken into consideration. Multimedia. What is multimedia? Multimedia is the field concerned with computer-controlled integration of text, graphics, drawings, drawings where you have both still and images, animation, audio, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, transmitted, and processed digitally. Okay. What is a multimedia? What is multimedia? It is a field that is controlled by the computer. The overall integration of different kinds of things are controlled by the computer. What are different types? It can be a textual, it can be graphic based, it can be drawing based, it can be video based, it can be animation, it can be audio, it can be anything. All these things are controlled by the computer, and all these things are computer controlled, and the information can be presented or stored or transmitted or processed digitally. Okay. Multimedia is a form of communication that combines different content forms such as text, audio, animations, or video in a single interactive presentation. All the things can be used in one single presentation. You can use text, you can use audio, you can use video, you can use images, you can use animation, you can use whatnot. In one single presentation, and to make it more attractive, you can use all the forms of multimedia to promote, to tell about your content, to explain your content. Components of multimedia. There are different components in multimedia. What are the components? Text. The text can have various types of fonts and sizes to suit the profession, the presentation of the multimedia software. Graphics. Graphics make the multimedia application more attractive. There are two types of graphics. We all know what graphics are. Graphics make, it's a visual feast. Basically, when we come up with good graphics, it becomes visual feast. Something which is not done in the location. For example, there are many movies which are done just in the studio, and using the graphics, the background is being changed. A proper use of graphics and a proper graphic will make the visual presentation more impactful, more colorful, and more appealing. Okay. So there are two types of graphics, basically bitmap graphic, bitmap, bitmap images or real images that can be captured from devices such as digital cameras or scanners. And vector graphics are drawn on the computer and only require a small amount of memory. Audio component, sound element used in the multimedia is the audio component. Video component, the term video refers to moving picture accompanied by the sound. So video element of multimedia application gives a lot of information in small duration. When you see something, it is more appealing than when you explain about it. See, when you see if somebody is telling you the story of a movie, it may not be that appealing. But when you watch a movie by yourself, it gives a lot of information within that limited time. So videos are basically very much impactful. And you are sending some kind of information. It is very impactful for the other person. Digital video is useful in multimedia applications for showing real life objects. Digital video files can be stored like any other files in the computer, and the quality of video can still be maintained. The digital video files can be transferred within a computer network. The digital video clips can be edited easily. This can be done very easily. If it is digital, the editing is done very easily, and the transfer of files is also very quick and very easy. And the last component is animation. Animation is a process of making static image look like it is moving. A static image, that means an image that is at a place, it is not moving, but using animation, you make it as if it is moving. Animation is a very popular multimedia application. Next, tools of multimedia. Delivered in two types. It can be a live or a recorded presentation. In the second case, that is recorded presentation, is the interactive multimedia games and simulations which may be useful in real and virtual environments. See, multimedia tools are multimedia is generally developed in delivered by two types. One is it can be a live or a recorded presentation, a normal presentation, whichever is happening. Number one, it can be live. Now, whatever is happening, this session is a live session. And if I am recording and sending the presentation, then it becomes a recorded presentation. Number two, what is the other kind of delivery method? Interactive multimedia, like the gaming, the simulations. You create a virtual world, you create an artificial world, virtual reality, where you tend to, we have already discussed about this, but I'm just briefing you up, where you create an environment which is not real, but you have your identity there, your identity in that virtual world. You being a person, create an artificial identity for yourself and start living in that environment, playing game with the opponent, or all these things are examples for the interactive multimedia. The basic tools required for multimedia are text-based editing tools, graphic tools, sound editing tools, animation, video, and digital movie tools. What are the basic tools of multimedia? Text-based editing tools to edit the text, graphic tools for graphics, sound to edit the sound, to increase the pitch, to lower the pitch, to increase the bass, sound editing tools are used like Nuendo and all these things. And fourth, animation, video and digital movie tools. There are many video and digital movie tools. Text-based editing tools. I'm explaining you each and every point. What are text-based, what are graphic, what are sound editing tools and animation tools. This software that you find this software in all the computers. For example, word processors are usually a part of your office suite. So this helps in text editing. The word processors are used for creating project letters, invoices, and storyboards. They allow embedded multimedia elements. The commonly known word processor is MS Office or your Microsoft Word. We can all of us know to edit in MS Office, MS Word or Microsoft Word. Graphic tools. The graphic tools include painting and drawing tools, 3D modeling tools, image editing tools like CorelDRAW. Example of graphic editing tools are CorelDRAW, Photoshop. All these are examples of the graphic tools. 3D modeling tools in 3D. See, generally in 2D, you have only two axes, x-axis and y-axis. You don't have the depth in 2D modeling. Whereas in 3D modeling, you have the depth. You have z-axis as well. And the z-axis represents the depth of the object. 3D Studio Max, C-Cube 3, Maya are the examples of 3D modeling tools. Image editing tools. These tools are used for editing images and pictures of all formats like bitmap, JPEG, etc. Example for this is Adobe Photoshop. Sound editing tools. There are many sound editing tools where you edit the sound files, you edit them, you increase their pitch, you increase their bass, you can do whatever, whatnot, you can do anything. So examples for sound editing tools are Cool Edit, Sound Edit, and MP3 Cutter. Animation, video, and digital movie tools. Animation is a rapid display of a sequence of images of 2D or 3D art networks or model positions in order to create an illusion of movement. Animation is basically a sequence of n number of images, of different images. The sequence is being made in a 2D or a 3D art form, which creates an illusion of movement. They are different pictures, but when you see them as a movie, you feel that it is moving. Animation and digital movies are sequencing of bitmapped graphic scenes, which are played back rapidly to form an illusion of motion. The editing software program usually have clips of audio and video arranged in tracks. Example, Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. These are the examples of editing softwares. Multimedia in education. Multimedia is also used in education. Multimedia technologies offer extraordinary facilities in data storage, database management, and archiving of information. It helps in the storage of data, to manage the data, to archive the information. Training and education is one of the most important area of multimedia application. Multimedia training and education helps. It is one of the most important area of multimedia application. The digitized lessons can be replayed a number of times. When the lesson is recorded, when it is digitized and saved, when it is archived, it can be viewed number of times. It can be replayed number of times. This is one of the major advantage. Growing popularity for e-learning or online education. Online learning has opened the gateway for global access of quality education. Because of online education, you have global access to education. You need not go there in person. You need not go to an university. You can sit at home and be a student of top universities and get quality of education from those universities thanks to online learning and e-education. Two-way video conferencing with the teachers so that students can interact. When always it is good to have interaction. A session should always be dialogue. It should not be a monologue. Monologue is something where only a single person is speaking. Whereas in dialogue, both the people, the sender and the receiver, interact with each other. And this is very good. So video conferencing helps the students and teachers to interact so that students can also ask their doubts. If they have anything, they can share with the teacher. And there is a proper interaction and bond developed between the teachers and the students. Multimedia and the web. HTML used to express the content and the visual formatting of a web page is a tag language based on standard generalized markup language, which is a much broader language used to define markup languages for particular purposes. Excuse me. HTML contains tags that define how the text Excuse me, guys, just give me 2 minutes. A multimedia production requires a team of professionals who look after various stages of production. How do multimedia production happen? It happens through a team of professionals. There are many stages in multimedia production. And the team of professionals who work for multimedia production. Like there is a project director, there is a graphic designer, production assistant, production artist, project manager, writer, sound engineer or sound designer, videographer, animator, and the programmers. These are the different people. There are this proper team of professionals for developing a multimedia production. And what are the steps in the production, in the multimedia production? First, you have concept design. You need to come up with a concept. There should be a proper concept. When you come up with a concept design, you then develop the content and gather information about that particular content. Gather information about that particular content. You have a concept and then you start developing the content and information about that particular concept. And then it is navigation. And then you come up with aesthetic design and planning for the overall production of that particular project. Some of the activities listed under production are creating the rough layout and interface design, acquiring or creating music, other sounds, photography, motion graphics, text, and assembling all the elements into a prototype to create a moving image and to create a movie. Internal reviews, and you have to take up reviews internally within the team. You show what you have created, what is your production, what is your movie. Show to your team, ask them the review, take up the reviews from critics. If they feel that there should be some corrections, if they feel that the quality is not good, if they feel that the content should be improved, please take those reviews and work on those. And then make your final changes. After the final changes are done, the product can be the product testing. That is the final version. Before giving it to the distribution, you can do a final product testing and then make the changes and give it to your distributors. That's how the multimedia production happens. Writing for multimedia. Choose the text, background, and proper colors. Colors should not dominate the text. This text should be visual. It should be seen by everybody. So the background color should never dominate the text. All the graphic images and elements, typefaces, headings, footers should remain consistent throughout your project. There should be consistent. You have to follow the same type of typefaces, elements, and all the other things should be consistent throughout your project. One must adapt consistency and coherence in language, design, and presentation. Signed documents are intended to be read unsequentially. One must keep this in mind while writing. How do you integrate? Now integrating. Several elements like graphics, audio, video, etc. are used in animation. So contribute this in making the final project. All these elements contribute in making the final projects. This is about integration. You integrate all these items, the audio, video, text, images, everything is being integrated and the final product is being delivered. An authoring tool is a software package which developers use to create and package content deliverable to the end users. These tools not only integrate the different components, but also include interactive user control. It not only helps in integrating different components, but also helps to include an interactive user control. Then what is integration? How is integration done? Script through script language metaphor, slideshow metaphor, flow control metaphor, frames metaphor, scripting metaphor, macromedia, flash, all these things. Different image formats used in multimedia are JPEG, GIF, TIFF, BMP, etc. Now next move on to movie files. What are different movie files? Audio, video, interlink, AVI. We have .avis, no? They are compressed movies that can be viewed in Windows environment with media player or on Unix workstations. We all know .aiv. There should be some format, no? This is one of the format to view your movies. File formats list. An FLC is an auto desk flick movie and is a raw uncompressed series of frames and take more space. Generally, .avis are edited and it takes very less space. Whereas in file format list, they are unedited raw pictures and they take more space. They are not even compressed form. .avi is a compressed form of your images and movies. QuickTime format, .mov, .qt, flattened QuickTime video clips can be viewed on Unix workstations. Moving picture expert group, MPEG. Video clips can be viewed with MPEG play on Unix. It can be played on Unix workstations, Macintosh, and your personal computers. Impact of new media on traditional media. the impact, definitely there is an impact of definitely there is an impact of new media on traditional media, and how it has how new media has developed and how it has impacted or affected the traditional media. We will go through it in detail in the next session. For today, I will end the session here. And tomorrow we can finish off with impact of new media on traditional media and convergence and its impact. Okay, I'll stop the session here. Thanks a lot. Meet you guys tomorrow at the same time. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Take care.